Good morning. I asked MavMad if I could speak to you today because today is the Brooks Unplugged Challenge Day. As the All-School Read Committee chairperson, I thought it was important that you understand why we have asked the whole community to take a day off from our phones and our computers, to unplug from social media and technology for a few hours. I truly hope that most of you are participating in what can be seen as a very interesting social experiment. And I look forward to the conversations we'll have tonight at the all-school sit-down. In the book, Ready Player One, the real-world Wade Watts is a recluse, holing up in abandoned cars and interacting with no real humans. Yet in the Oasis, as Parzival, he was a celebrity with a group of close friends and even a girlfriend. A quote from the book reads, "Online, I didn't have a problem talking to people or making friends. But in the real world, interacting with other people, especially kids my own age, made me a nervous wreck. I never knew how to act or what to say, and when I did work up the courage to speak, I always seemed to say the wrong thing." One of the reasons we chose this book was so that we could discuss whether or not our society is heading in that same direction, with people spending more time online or texting than actually interacting with others face to face. We wanted to start conversations about how much we use technology and whether this is leading us down the right path as a community, while also exploring the benefits of technology here at school and beyond. Every year, my college roommates and I get together for a weekend away, and whenever we share stories about our crazy college days, one of us will always say, "Thank God we didn't have phones back in the day," because we really would not have wanted any evidence of some of the nonsense we got ourselves into. We are now teachers and mothers and businesswomen. We don't want any of that coming back to haunt us as adults. I am very glad that no one was taking pictures of all the embarrassing things I did. Would I want my giant 80s hair and ridiculous outfit choices memorialized for all to see? Do I want my kids checking out pictures of me and my old boyfriends? I'm sorry, it happened. There was one. I'm not saying that this actually happened, but let's just say I happened to throw up all over Gail Sawyer in the middle of Mr. Goodman's science class. Would I want to relive that for years to come? No, no way. I'm glad none of that evidence exists for me. You will not be so lucky because almost everything you do is captured digitally, whether you like it or not. I worry about our ability to be in a moment and to appreciate it. We seem to be living in an age where if you didn't take pictures of it, it didn't happen. I am 100% guilty of this. When I'm on my scuba trips, I take my GoPro underwater and I take pictures of all the students and the marine life. I spend so much time taking pictures, I rarely stop to just be, to enjoy the experience and take it all in. It's as though I'm there, but I'm not truly present because I'm so busy looking through the lens of a camera, feverishly trying to capture every moment. And God forbid my camera dies while I'm underwater, because invariably that's when a shark shows up or something else really amazing happens. And instead of just reveling in the moment and appreciating the experience I'm having, I'm much more likely to be frustrated that I didn't get a picture of it. It seems that we're spending so much time taking pictures of our lives that we might actually be missing out on living them. On the other hand, it would have been really good and probably much safer to have had phones in college when we couldn't find each other late at night. I really wish I could have documented our get-togethers and those Notre Dame tailgates. I do not have a single picture from college. Can you imagine that? Not one. We never had a camera handy to snap pictures, whereas you all have pictures of so many memories that for me only exist in some moldy old photo album packed away in the attic. You are creating a rich digital history filled with candids and selfies and videos of so many of your wonderful experiences, and you'll be able to share those with generations to come. I cherish all the pictures I have of my children, and I'm grateful that I've been able to document their childhood in much more detail than what I have of my own. When I was in high school, I had a really nice group of friends, but I would still characterize myself socially as just sort of on the outskirts of the popular clique. May have had something to do with that whole most competitive thing. I really wanted to be part of the innermost crowd, but I just never quite made the cut. While I got invited to lots of parties, there would occasionally be whispers and rumors and inside jokes about little get-togethers that I was not a part of, and I definitely felt left out. But I never really knew if they happened. It wasn't like I was going to go up to one of them and ask if they'd had a party and ask why I hadn't been invited. Due to social media, it's almost impossible to keep anything private any longer. Everyone appears to be compelled to show the world how much fun they're having, so they post where they are and who they're with, always with the perfect caption and hashtag. But I wonder about the kids who didn't happen to get invited to that party or that beach day and how that makes them feel to be excluded. If Snapchat stories had existed when I was in high school, I know that things like that would have devastated me. I was insecure enough already, and I was just wondering if other kids were having more fun than I was. If there had been actual pictures and videos of those events, I know that would have hurt me very deeply. A social scientist has been studying the effect of social media on interpersonal relationships. She said before, if you were having a face-to-face interaction, everything is qualitative. You use someone's gestures or their facial expressions, that sort of thing, to see how effective your message is. She says now if you go online, one of the ways you gauge the effectiveness of your message is in the number of likes, favorites, and retweets. We are starting to view the quality of our experiences by how many likes and comments we get on a photo. Some people agonize over the best caption and spend too much time counting retweets and the number of followers that they have. It's a lot of time, energy, and effort on things that didn't even exist a decade ago. Is it worth it? Should those things matter as much as they do to some of us? You also really can't get away with anything because of social media. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but it's certainly something to think about. I remember a story from a few years ago where some graduating seniors from a local high school were actually kept out of their lacrosse championship game because an opposing coach saw a picture of them smoking cigars at graduation. Smoking is in violation of MIAA rules, so they actually couldn't play. That posted pictures had significant consequences for those kids and their team. You really need to think things through before posting things online because you just never know who's going to see it. I've seen the remarkable side of social media though as well. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge raised over $115 million. More importantly, it raised awareness about ALS. This summer, a lab identified a gene that may provide scientists with a new potential target for therapy development of this progressive neurodegenerative disease that robs the body of its ability to speak, eat, move, and breathe. Funding for that project came directly from the Ice Bucket Challenge. I think that's pretty amazing. We can use social media in so many positive ways, and we should explore that as a community. I tweeted some of the pictures that you guys sent me this summer of you reading the book in different places, and I tagged the author of Ready Player One, Ernest Cline. He not only liked our pictures, but he actually retweeted it to all of his fans who are still retweeting and liking that post. How cool is that? Without social media, there's probably zero likelihood that we could have interacted with the author of this book. Additionally, soon you'll be learning about a really cool app that Jack Yang and Seyoon Kim have developed that will allow us to interact more with each other, not less. I can't wait for them to show it to you. On social media, we can also support each other during difficult times. Writing as well as reading so many students' letters to Anna on Facebook has brought some peace to those who miss her dearly. Without social media, many of the injustices that we are grappling with today would not be a part of our conversation because we would not know that they even existed unless somebody had posted video or live streamed some of these horrific events. We should also give some thought to interpersonal communication in today's world, when so much of our interaction is with texting, when the only thing coming through is your words. I used to teach a class in animal behavior, and one of my favorite lessons was on body language and nonverbal communication. Here's an interesting statistic. Only 7% of any message is conveyed through the words that come out of your mouth, 7%. 38% of meaning is conveyed through the way you say something, so how fast you speak or the tone you use, and 55% is through nonverbal elements, such as facial expressions, gestures, and posture. Again, the actual words that you say only account for 7% of the message that other people receive. The rest is nonverbal. Based on that statistic, that means that when we text, we are missing 93% of what the other person is actually trying to say. While the "I'm laughing, so I'm crying so hard" emoji might help explain what you're trying to get across, it's just not enough to even come close to fully communicating what you intend. Mr. Wagner recently thought I was angry at him because I answered a texted question with an okay and a period. Apparently, okay period means I'm mad. Or K, if you just do K, that's like really bad, apparently. And definitely don't put ... or else all sorts of mayhem can result. I did not know this. So, although we tend to think of texting as an improvement in communication because of its immediacy, that doesn't necessarily bear out in real life. Instead, things are often badly misconstrued over text. You might be saying something completely harmless, like okay ... and somehow the other person gets hurt or just misunderstands what you mean. Your use of emojis and punctuation, I'm like a huge fan of the exclamation mark. I think that makes everything better, but probably doesn't. It's just not enough to accurately convey what you mean. And the distant nature of texting insulates us. We don't have to see the other person's face when we say something difficult or unkind. I've heard so many stories of arguments or breakups over text. And again, I am so grateful that this didn't exist when I was young. Of course, it's much easier to have conversations through texting, but what are we losing by reducing those tough conversations to mere words on a screen? How many miscommunications could have been avoided if we just talked to each other face to face instead of texting? Today, we are not taking a break from technology because using phones and computers is somehow bad. Clearly, there are many ways that these things are useful and helpful, but sometimes we just need to take a break from something to see how much we rely on it and how much of time it consumes in our lives. Today, we want you to think about things like, how uncomfortable are you without your phone? And if you're really uncomfortable, what does that mean? How will lunch and dinner go today when no one is on their phones? Is it going to be different? Will it be more awkward or less awkward or the same? I'm wondering, what are my classes going to be like when I don't have my computer to rely on for lectures, or I can't check my Twitter feed to see what happened in our crazy presidential race? There's no way for us to tell without trying. But I will close with my hope for the day, that we look each other in the eyes and we have real conversations, that we're brave and we're patient and we sit through the awkwardness that we may feel to just be here together, living and learning. Thank you.